Hello everyone, welcome to this video on Figma tutorial for beginners. If you're an engineering graduate or someone who is looking to build a stable career in the IT field, but you don't like programming at all, well, in that case you must discover UI UX as a career choice. Currently, a fresher UI UX designer earns an average salary of 8 lakh rupees per annum, which can easily go above 35 lakhs per year with some design experiences on the back. And all you need to get into this field is a problem-solving approach and a business mindset. Today, in this video, we're going to introduce you to this emerging field of IT. Not only that, we will be taking you through the hands-on training for the most important tool you need to master in order to get into this field. The tool that we are going to explore today is Figma. Through this Figma tutorial for beginners, we will educate you about the key stages of designing an app in Figma. We will begin from the basic stage of creating initial wireframes to reaching a point where we design an interactive prototype. But before we begin, I would like to request you guys to subscribe to Intellipaat's YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any update from our team. Alright, without further ado, let's jump right into the world of Figma and take your design skills to the next level. And hey, if you find this video helpful at any point, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Let's take a look at our agenda for this particular session. First, we will see what is UX design. Then we will see what role does UX play in Figma designing. After that, we will see the introduction to Figma. Then lastly, we will see what is wireframe and how to create a wireframe in Figma. I hope I have made myself clear with the agenda, so let's start with the very first topic. What is UX design? Welcome to this session of Figma tutorial for beginners. Today's software products have grown in complexity with the continuous growth in technologies and development practices. Web pages or app interfaces, which used to be static pages, have evolved into a very rich and interactive experience. But regardless of how much has changed in the development process, the success of a website or an app is still determined by one factor: how users perceive it. Are they getting value through utilization? Is it simple for them to use? Do they feel pleased while interacting with the product? These are the questions that are going to determine the sentiment of users towards the website or application you develop. Alongside the answers to these questions will also ultimately determine whether your service or product moves towards success or failure. Now, to make sure your product makes a run towards success, the notion of user experience designing comes into play. So, what is UX design? UX design is the process of creating a valuable and enjoyable experience for users who interact with the product or service. The strength of a product's UX design team determines its success. UX design involves the design of the entire process of acquiring and integrating the product, including aspects of branding, designing, usability, and function. Let's have a look at the example to understand it in a better way. So, let's suppose you want to buy a PS5 online. So you go to an e-commerce website. After you go to the website, you are asked to sign up. So, after signing up, you are then asked to verify yourself, whether you're a robot or not. After the verification process, you move ahead and you get advertisements. And you're like, what is this? There's a lot of things on this app. After the pop-up notification, you go ahead and now you select your product. You click on the buy now process and you move ahead. After that, you put down the address details. After putting down the address details, you go ahead and make the payment. After you're done with the payment, your order is now completed. Whereas on the other hand, let's suppose we have Amazon. So it asks you to select the product. You click on the buy now button and after that you move ahead. It asks you to put down the address details. After you've done that, you go ahead and make the payment. After you've done with the payment, you move ahead and the order is now completed. So, which among these has the best user experience? The second one, right? Why? Because this process was shorter as compared to the first one. The first one took a very long time, right? So, the user experience of the second one is better. Hence, the UX design of the second e-commerce app is better than the first one. Now, let's proceed ahead and see why Figma is important in the UX designing process. But first, let us understand what does Figma mean. So, Figma is a platform where teams design together. It unites everyone in your creative process and brings the idea to life in a design wireframe or prototype in the cloud. Figma lets you and your partner get on the same page with your developer early and often even if they live on the other side of the globe. Figma makes hands-off more like handshakes. You can invite your stakeholders to give feedback and no comments right in your work. Now, there are 3 major important steps in Figma's designing process. The first step is to identify key assumptions. The second is to determine which assumption you should spend time testing. You're not looking to test 100% of your assumptions. That would not be a great way to never build anything. You're just looking to test the riskiest ones. The power in this process is that every step resolves a critical unknown and every resolution should lead you to change directions. The sooner you iterate on assumptions, the faster you can pivot towards right solution, customer or problem. So, let's have a look into these 3 steps one by one. Starting with assumptions. Begin by pre-assuming the thoughts you hold about your design functions. These assumptions might relate to user actions, preferences, or even the design components themselves. Share your design with team members, clients, or other stakeholders. Communicate the assumptions you've made in your designs. It's important to share them with your team, clients, or other people who have a stake in the project. But don't just show them the designs. Also talk to them about how the ideas and expectations you had while creating those designs. Now let's take a look at the example for assumptions. Users prefer a simple and automatic platform for searching and booking flights. Users prioritize finding the best deals and prices when booking flights. Users value the ability to easily compare different flight options. Users also want to see reviews and rating of airlines and destinations. Then comes testing. Share your design work with your team, clients, or anyone involved. Tell them about the ideas and guesses you've used in your designs. When you show your design to others, it's essential to explain the assumptions you've used. For example, you could say, we assumed users would prefer a simple menu layout, so that's what we created. This helps everyone understand the thinking behind your design and can lead to valuable feedback. Invite users or people involved in the project to try out your prototype and see how they interact with the design. Watch closely as they use it and ask for their thoughts on how it feels. This step is like having a group of people test a new video game before it's officially released. You want to see how they play, what they like, and what might need improvement. By doing this, you get the valuable feedback that can help make the design even better. It's like getting advice from players to make the game more enjoyable, and in the case of design, making sure it's user-friendly and effective. Expand invitation to users or stakeholders. Invite them to engage with your prototypes. During this interaction, closely observe how they navigate and use the design, and effectively seek their input on their experience. Think of it as hosting a test session for a new board game you've created. You want to see how players approach the game, what aspects they enjoy, and what might need enhancement. Now let's see the example of testing. Conduct user interviews to understand their priorities and pain points when booking flights. Create wireframes and prototypes of the app's interface to test with potential users. Run A/B tests to compare different design approaches. Next is iteration. In this step, carefully go through the feedback you've gathered from testing. Pay close attention to the parts where users face challenges or where your thoughts and ideas did not match the actual user experience. Implement the changes you want in your designs, guided by the feedback you've gotten or the insights. In Figma, you can save different pictures of your design as you work on it. This helps you remember what you did before and make things better without erasing the old stuff. It's like taking photos of your art while you're drawing. If you make a mistake, you can look back at the older picture to see what you liked better. This is really useful when you're working with other projects. Now let's see the example of iteration. Based on user interviews, simplify the search and booking process by reducing the number of steps required. From A/B testing, it's clear that users prefer an interface with a strong emphasis on price comparison, so the design can be adjusted to make this feature more prominent. User feedback indicates a need for a more robust review and rating system, so the team can work on enhancing this feature. Keep repeating this process of guessing how your design should work, trying it out with users and others involved, so that you can make it better. Do this again and again until you create a design that works well for the people who will use it. With each try, you're getting nearer to a design that's easy for people to use and matches what you want to achieve with your project. It's like fixing a puzzle. Each piece you add gets you closer to the finished picture you have in mind. In design, every change gets you closer to a perfect result. Now, let's move ahead and see what role does Figma play in UX designing. So, 66% of UI and UX designers use Figma as a design tool according to the LinkedIn survey. UX designers can create wireframe and research documentation using Figma. Figma allows UI and UX teams to collaborate at one place. Figma offers free robust plan. It offers both free and paid plans, and its free plan, while somewhat limited compared to its paid plans, still provides robust features and functionality, making it a valuable option for many designers and teams. Figma enables you to deliver high-quality products quickly. Figma also enables UX and UI designers to create and share their designs. Figma's platform gives designers endless possibilities. It enables design creation from vector tools to advanced collaboration capabilities. With it, designers enjoy an intuitive UI to bring their designs to life. Prevailing Figma's library offers a million opportunity to explore your creativity. So you can use it regardless of whether you're a fresher or a pro designer. So if you're looking for new ways to express yourself, Figma has something special for you. Now let's look into wireframing. What is wireframing in Figma? A wireframe is a simple visual guide that represents the skeletal framework of a website or digital product. Think of it as the blueprint of your final design. You're providing enough detail so that everyone knows the shape of the wall, but you're not getting so deep into it that you're giving exact details on the type of brick of the walls that should be made of. Though, wireframes are most often created by designers. They need to be basic enough so that everyone from other designers, stakeholders, and users can understand the ideas. Wireframes are not timed to set anything in stone. In fact, it's the opposite. The power of wireframes is that they provide an opportunity to gather more information through usability research and stakeholder input. Because wireframes are so simple, people can more easily focus on functionality and the user experience rather than getting hung up on colors and other aesthetic elements. Majority of the times we're using Figma to design apps or websites, but it is not the actual builder at the end. So we're going to quickly do a wireframe, test that wireframe, and get it to a point where it can be tested and actually feel like an app or a website. But it's just a mock-up of it, okay? It looks real, you can test it, and that's the beauty of Figma. I have this particular project in my mind for which we will create a working wireframe structure. So, let's go to the Figma's website and www.figma.com. Now you see this design file here in blue. For some of you it might be on the left side. Mine's on the right, so tap on that. And there we have it, Figma's interface. So, here is the arrow, this is the region tool, the rectangle tool. There's all sorts of shapes in it. We have the pen pencil, text tool. This is the design prototype. Let's get started, you will understand everything. So first, let's create a frame. So you see we have a lot of options here. We have iPhone, Android, tablet, desktop, watch. You can choose anything you want. I will go with iPhone 13. Okay. So I'm going to make a copy of this. So Command C and Command V. Command V. Okay. Now I want to change the name here. So I'm going to tap here, change this to home page. And I'm going to change this to registration. And this one to confirmation. Okay. Now let's move ahead and start designing. So here we have our rectangle tool. Select rectangle and create. Okay, now we'll change the color for this. So we'll change the color from here. Choose anything, whatever you like. I will go with blue. Okay. Also, before moving ahead, let's give some title here. So I'm just gonna put here, I'm going to the text tool and writing here P1. And that's very small, so we're going to change the text size from here to 20. Okay, better. Now, I'm going to leave this here and move ahead. Okay, so now we're going to create a button. Go to the rectangle tool again. Select. Make a button. Add a text. Select the text tool. Right here, button. Maybe I want this in bold, so I'm going to change this. Select it. And we're going to place this in the middle. So this is our button here. And we'll change the color for this. We'll change it to the same color. Since we've already chosen it here, so blue. Okay, now it's in between. And let's add a text over here. Let's say opening in January. So go to text tool again. Opening in January. Select it. Place it over here. Okay. Now let's move to the second page. Let's go to the rectangle tool again. Make a rectangle. And I'm going to write email inside. So I select the text tool, write email, select it, and place it in the middle. And there we have it. Now I'm going to change the color for this as well, make it blue. There we have it. Let's place this in the middle. Okay, better. And let's add a text over here. Let me know. Okay. Now let's create another button over here. Let's go to assets. Okay, we need to create a component first. So select this, create component. So now you see it's purple and we have this over here. Now I'm going to change this, make it button. Okay, and we're going to name this as logo. So create component and write logo. Okay, now we can drag and drop it from here to here or we can just make another button. So let's name this as register. Okay, we need to capitalize that, so let's just write in capital register and make it bold. Go here, make it bold. Okay. Select it and place it in the middle. There we have it. Okay. I feel like this is too big. Let's reduce the size of it. Make it smaller. Okay. Now let's move to our third page and select the text tool and write keep me updated. And place it in the middle. So select this and place it in the middle somewhere, anywhere. Okay. Now I'm going to move this on the second page and the third page. So Command D twice, and I'm going to duplicate this over here. So here and on the third page here. Change this to P2 and change this to P3 in capital, so P2. Okay. Now let's add squares over here. So we go to the rectangle tool. Now to add a square, you have a rectangle, right? So select this, press Option, and you get a perfect rectangle. Go to the rectangle tool, select Option and drag. Okay, there we have it, a perfect square. I'm going to duplicate this. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Now we're going to change the color for this as well. So let's make it blue. Blue. And for this one as well, we're going to change the color and make it blue. Now let's edit text. Let's say coffee. Bottomless coffee. And we're going to also duplicate this so that I don't have to write. I will just paste it. So Command D, and Command D. Now let's select this. Let's group them. So now that we've selected, go here, object and group selection. So now that if you want to move it, you can move it together. Okay. Let's do the same for these two as well. We're going to add a text over here. 24/7 and a text. Select the text tool again and pet friendly. Okay. Select this. Make it a group. Go to object, group selection. Select this again go to Object and Group Selection. Now, these are already a component, and so are these three. Now let's prototype it. So we have prototype here, click on it. Our device is iPhone 14 and model, you can choose any red, blue, starlight, purple. I'll just go with the midnight one. Now let's create a connection. So to create a connection, select a frame or object in a frame and use the circular node to drag a connection to another frame. So this is our frame, this is the circular object. Now I'm going to connect this to this page. There we have it. And then we have this. I'm going to select this to this page. And then we have this one. I'm going to put this on the first page. Now, press flow 1 and let's preview it. Let's present. Okay. And there we have it. Opening in January, button, register. Okay, sometimes this does not work, so you press this. There we have it. Button, register, let's move further. So take this. And there we have it. So this was the wireframe for our Figma. I hope you guys understood. It was quite simple and I hope you guys can also do it from your end. And there you have it. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to join our community. If you have any more questions or need further guidance, drop them in the comments below. Until next time, keep crafting those amazing user experiences and let your portfolio shine. Take care and I'll catch you in the next video.
Just a quick info, guys. Intellipaat offers advanced certification in UI UX design strategy. The program offers complete advanced certification training for those wishing to pursue a career in UI UX design strategy. The course curriculum is designed and mentored by the leading faculty at IIT Guwahati and is specifically designed for aspiring learners who want a career in this domain. You can check out their testimonials on our Achievers channel, whose link is given in the description below. Without a doubt, this course can set your career to new heights. So visit the course page link given below in the description and take the first step towards career growth in the field of UI UX design.